Hey guys, welcome back to the Jays for Down Football Podcast. I am your host, Jay, and today we're going to be recapping week 15 here in the NFL. We're winding down towards the end of the 2023 season. Wow, it is crazy, guys. It feels like just yesterday, we were back just recapping the draft and getting the training camp and practices and preseason. Now we're towards the end of the year, so lot to dive into, but for now, let's just hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and we love if you subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Continue to help us grow and get higher and get better, get better, and get better. And we're working towards that each and every day. And also check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. But yeah, like I said, today we're going to be talking about a couple of things, more so the 49ers. Listen, guys, the San Francisco 49ers are unstoppable. I do not see a team right now in the NFC that can beat them. Definitely not the Philadelphia Eagles after what I saw on Monday Night Football last night. Putrid. I mean, you could say, oh, Jalen Hurts was sick and this and that. I mean, yeah, well, he played. He did play, and it just wasn't good. The play calling offensively, which has been a complaint for a lot of Philadelphia fans, the play calling offensively was just not good last night. For one thing, and I just don't understand. The Eagles just don't look like they did last year. They look like a completely different. Well, I won't say completely different, but they look lesser of a team than they did a season ago. When they were high flying and just throwing the ball over the place while also being able to run it. And Jalen Hurts was an MVP candidate. I just don't see that this year for them. But we'll get to them in a second. But the 49ers, though, man, they are unstoppable. They just look really good. They beat the Cardinals 45-29 on Sunday, just absolutely dominating on both sides of the football right now. And to me right now, San Francisco, Brock Purdy is leading pretty much every he's leading the league in every quarterback category, every major passing category. He's got 3,795 passing yards on the year, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, with a 69.8 completion percentage, tops in the NFL. I mean, this team is loaded with stars. Christian McCaffrey is leading the NFL in rushing. He's an MVP candidate right now. He might win it. And he's playing really good football too. And the 49ers are unstoppable. Defensively, they keep getting better and better. They already added Chase Young a while back at the trade deadline, bolstering the already great pass rush they had with Bosa and Armstead and those guys over there. And offensively, like I said, just getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, the offensive line with Trent Williams and crew up front. Like they're bullying teams, and I just don't see them. I just don't see anybody beating this team in the NFC. And I've had them going to the Super Bowl. My Super Bowl picks, I said this before, but my Super Bowl picks this year are the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. With the way they're playing right now, I don't see any threat. I could now had Philadelphia, won a little bit more convincingly this year, like they did a season ago. Yeah, I could say the Eagles, but they ended up beating San Francisco last year. Granted, Brock Purdy got hurt and everything, but, I expect a different 49ers team to come out than a season ago after that loss to Philly in the NFC Championship. They watched film. They've gotten better since then, probably, reviewed what went wrong besides they're going through 3 quarterbacks. But very rarely do situations like that happen, and I doubt that they would experience anything like that again. Hopefully they don't. And and the system is just quarterback friendly that Kyle Shanahan has built, and Brock Purdy he's able to excel in this system, in this offense. Yeah, I won't say he's a system player or system quarterback. He is a talented quarterback. He's a talented player. Otherwise, I do not believe he would be starting for the San Francisco 49ers right now. If he really did not have any true raw talent, he wouldn't be starting in the NFL right now. Probably wouldn't be on the roster, or if he was, he'd be a backup at most. But he's playing good, and I'm really psyched to see him play this way and continue to prove the haters wrong and go out there and play good football. So, and he has the ability to get the ball to the right player with accuracy, and that's what I love about Brock Purdy, and it makes that passing game very deadly. So they're able to run it, with all the motion and these things like that, and getting the ball in McCaffrey's hands, line him out wide in the slot, and you got Kittle out there, Ayuk, Samuel, who also lines up in the backfield like he always does, and you just don't know what they're going to do, and it's hard to stop. Defensively, they got guys like Fred Warner, Jarvarius Ward, Dre Greenlaw, Chase Young already mentioned, Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa. They've got a really great, solid defense that's only going to continue to get better. They lost Talanoa Hufanga earlier this year, which is that's going to hurt their secondary a little bit, but I still think that they can bounce back and finish the season on a strong note. They already clinched a playoff spot, so I do think whoever the 49ers are definitely making the NFC Championship game, and they're making the Super Bowl because nobody in the NFC is beating this team. The best team that could give them any competition, I believe, is the Detroit Lions if they're on their game. If they play like they played what was it? I think it was Saturday. They played Saturday when they were destroyed the Broncos. If they play like that, if Jared Goff has a great game, no turnovers, 4+ touchdowns, Sam Laporta a couple touchdowns, and they get the ball in Jahmyr Gibbs' hands. He has over 100 yards rushing, and Amon-Ra has the ball a lot. That's when I could say the Lions could be a threat, right? When they're playing at their absolute best, they're playing their best football. But other than that, like I said, the Eagles just aren't the same this year. They don't look the same at all. And I just don't understand, what's going on over there in Philly. Maybe like I said, the offensive play calling, Brian Johnson, it's just not looking very good. So we'll see if they can figure it out before season's end. But moving on to a different area of discussion, however, I just wanted to talk about the Atlanta Falcons and Desmond Ridder. Falcons benched Desmond Ridder today, and they're going to start Taylor Heineke the last couple of games here, the last two games of the season. I believe it's two more left. Yeah, they played the Saints, the Colts. So last two games of the season, they're going to be starting Taylor Heineke at quarterback instead of Desmond Ridder, who has had a very just putrid season at quarterback for the Falcons. 9 touchdowns, 11 picks on the year, just absolutely horrible. He's yet to play a game where he does not turn the football over. Desmond Ridder has not played a game this year and not turned the ball over. He hasn't done it. And it seems like he's incapable of doing so. And this sign by the team shows to me that that they don't plan to have him starting next year. At least you would think that. This kind of shows that they're fed up with his play. And he's not. There's no plans, at least in the foreseeable future, for him to be the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't want him to be. A lot of people here in Atlanta do not want him to be. We don't want Arthur Smith to be the head coach either. Because his play calling is just very atrocious. It's nonsensical. It's we just don't. It just doesn't make any sense. This is why Ben Johnson is one of the best. He's one of the highly coveted coaches in the NFL. This is why he's going to get a head coaching job this offseason, because he's an offensive coordinator who knows how to utilize his targets. He gets the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, David Montgomery. He knows how to utilize his assets and draws up schemes and plays that are going to set up his offense for success, and it's up to the players to execute those, right? But Ben Johnson is a very good coach. This is why he's going to get a lot of head coaching opportunities. That is the type of coach that you want running your team, leading your offense, calling the plays, that knows how to use his players. Arthur Smith does not know how to do that, and which is why the Falcons have struggled so much. The defense has played phenomenal this year, top 10 defense up there in takeaways and sacks, and they're playing really good. Jesse Bates has had a great Pro Bowl year. He got 5 interceptions on the season, has a pick 6. He's playing good football. Gray Jarrett was playing good football before he got hurt, but the offense just has not. It's just been very, very mediocre. And number 9, Desmond Ridder, has got a lot to do with that, as well as his head coach Arthur Smith. And a lot of fans are calling for both of them to be gone by next season, which I would not be opposed to. Would love it, in fact. But it's like if you keep changing coaches and stuff like that, it's just really going to keep messing up your culture. So I don't know what they're going to do, but they got to figure out something. They got to figure out something because Desmond Ridder is just not going to cut it. If the Falcons want to win anything in the next coming years, have any type of relevancy in this league like they did at once before, then they're going to have to get a starting caliber quarterback that can play this game because Desmond Ridder is not it. He's not going to be able to do that job, So that's really what I'm looking forward to seeing next year as a fan. It's like can we bring somebody in? They might possibly trade for a quarterback, might trade for Fields. Wouldn't be opposed to that. Have him and Ridder compete throughout the offseason and practice and training camp for the starting spot. If you do decide to keep Ridder, have another quarterback come in and compete with him and challenge him for that starting spot, challenge him to get better, challenge him to improve on the turnovers. And the thing about it is he would be a decent quarterback at best, a serviceable starter if he just didn't turn the ball over. He makes good plays sometimes. He can make good throws and reads, but he just he just the fumbles, the interceptions, it's just too much, and it comes at crucial points in the game, particularly down in the red zone when you have to score touchdowns, you have to get points, you have to keep your momentum on your side of the field, and when you turn the ball over, especially in the red zone, you're really hurting your team. You're you're just hurting your chance to win the football game. And the fact that you have to keep settling for field goals is not going to help either. So the Falcons have got to get it together. As far as going into next year, obviously, because the rest of this year, you might as well pack it up, tank last couple games, lose last couple games, get you a good draft pick, and get another quarterback, So those are my thoughts, but that's all we want to talk about on the podcast today. Like I said, 49ers are looking really good. The Bills, I will say this about the Bills, though. I was skeptical of them earlier in the year, and they are sneakily doing good right now. They might be a team that people don't want to play come playoff time. Buffalo's the type of team, they're figuring themselves out right now. They're running the football. They're getting better on that front. That's why I was skeptical of them earlier in the year on their ground attack, and I said, hey, they need to be able to run the ball better. And they've been doing that pretty well lately. James Cook is second in the league in rushing yards. Right now, only behind Christian McCaffrey, and that's how they gashed up the Cowboys. They ran for over 200 yards on them. They gashed them up, right up, And so if Buffalo can continue this and continue to pull together something here and make it into the playoffs, playing this type of way, there'll be a pain in the butt to play, like in the divisional or wild card round for a higher seed. So that's just something to think about. But that's it today for the show, guys. Subscribe to our channel and check us out here on YouTube. Subscribe. Let us know your thoughts, comments, and we will see you next time.